Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Spencer's Garage. Today I have my 2003 Dodge Ram 2500 with the Cummins turbo diesel. And my garage is pretty packed right now because this truck barely fits in my garage. So space is definitely limited today, but I wanted to show you what I have. Right here I have laid out, this is the S&B cold air intake for the 2003 to 2007 Cummins turbo diesels. I just have some of the parts laid out here. Obviously the intake elbow, some hardware, some clamps. These are some really high quality, I believe these are silicone couplers right there. They'll bolt onto the intake tube to the turbo. And we have a little heat shield here. So I'll explain more to this as I install it, but just wanted to give you guys an overview of all the parts that came in the box. So we have this really nice air box here. This is sealed. It has a, I don't know if that's like plexiglass or what that is, but it has that. I'll peel off that and that'll fasten to the very top of this so you can actually see through this. You can see the condition of your filter. I decided to go ahead and go with the dry filter, not the oiled one, because I heard that the oiled ones, the actual oil in them can be sucked into your turbo, and that's, you know, not very good for it. So anyways, I have my truck here. Let's go ahead and step over this and we can get started with the removal of the stock intake. I'll just kind of give you a, you know, step by step as I go. I've never changed out the intake on one of these trucks, so you know, this is going to be my first time, but I don't think it'd be that difficult. So if you care to watch and maybe learn a little something as I go, let's do this. By the way guys, my garage is normally not this messy. All of this has been moved over here in this area because it would not fit here. As you can see, this is the garage door that goes into my house, and this is only about a foot. So I really do mean that, you know, there is not very much room in here. There's only probably about a foot of distance between that and my other shelves right here. So yeah, there is not much room. But luckily, I don't think that matters in this installation and removal. So just give you guys an overview. This is a 5.9 liter Cummins turbo diesel. I believe it's 359 cubic inches. This particular model has 305 horsepower. It is the high output, and it has 555 foot-pounds of torque. So anyways, let's get started. I think I'm going to undo this intake air temperature sensor first, get that out of the way, and let's take out this stock air box. All right, let's go ahead and get started by disconnecting this intake air temperature sensor. You just put a little screwdriver in there and lift up. This will pop right out like that. Okay, so we can just move that out of the way for now. Just let that drop. And then to take out this temperature sensor, you need to be very, very careful. This is a very fragile piece, and they could break, and they are expensive to replace. So this is held in by two T20 Torx bits. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen these up. Be sure you keep these. Actually, in the S&B kit, you are going to be using the S&B hardware, but you know, just in case you ever want to go back to stock, I'm definitely going to be keeping, you know, this air box and all this stock hardware. So, and then you just carefully just kind of wiggle it out. There we go. And there's that. We'll set that in a safe place to the side. All right, next I'm going to take off the air box. You could take off the tube or the air box, but I'm going to choose to take off the air box first, just so, you know, no debris or anything will fall directly into the turbo, just so I have that baffle there still, or the tube there. Also, I wanted to mention that the nipple for the overflow on the radiator is very, very close to the air box here, and this is plastic. So you want to be very careful when taking off this, both the lower intake box and the top piece, not to damage that, because that would be a costly, you know, mess up right there. So anyways, to get this off, I'm first going to loosen this clamp right here. That is a 7, you could use a flathead screwdriver or 7mm socket. Let's see, obviously undo all of the clamps that hold it on. All right, I have the 3 clamps off, and I loosened this metal clamp right there. Again, you need to be very careful when raising this off not to damage the radiator. Let's see here if we can get this off. There we go. Just kind of slide it around. Just kind of push it off. There we go. Got it. We'll set that to the side. Here's my air filter. Let's take a look at that. I think this was replaced not too long ago. I've only had this truck for about 3 months, so it's pretty new to me. Yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, this truck has 175,000 miles currently, by the way. So, you know, for a Cummins, that's not too many, but you know, for some vehicles, that's quite a bit. Pretty nice and clean. So it's held in by this fastener right here, and then it has kind of 2 grips on the bottom, so you're just gonna kind of wanna wiggle this back and forth and shimmy it out till it pops up. Don't hit that. Reminder to self. All right, stock air box is out. You can see those just push into those grommets down there, so that's how that is held in place. And we have it out. You can see the stock air box is pretty restrictive, meaning that there's the only intake hole right there, whereas the SMB, I believe, has like 3 intake, you know, holes for the air to get in. So anyways, let's get that tube off and look at that turbo. Let's dive right into it. There she is. The whole set turbo down there. Inline 6-cylinder. Hell yeah, brother. But yeah, this is just 1 clamp. That is, again, either flathead or 7mm socket. Stock intake tube is out. Oh, had to wrestle it a little bit. There's my turbo. You can see that I've already taken out the silencer ring, so I will not be doing that in this video, but yeah. Because turbo. Anyways, if anybody can tell me, it looks like somebody coated my engine and turbo, you know, exhaust heat shield, block, everything, or I should say head, with some sort of, you know, protective coating or something. It's all over the engine, so if anybody knows exactly what that stuff is, it's even on the fuel rail, let me know. I'd like to know, look into it and see exactly, you know, what it is, what it does, and its properties and all that kind of stuff. By the way, guys, while you have your intake off, this is a good time to fill your turbine in there, just the wheel in there, make sure it doesn't have too much play. All right, guys, you can see this. You can see this opening right here on the bottom of the air box. That is, you know, obviously another inlet for air, but SMB supplies a block-off plate for it, which is this guy right here. And for more airflow, you can definitely leave this off. It's definitely optional. They do say it's a good idea to use this if you're concerned about in-engine bay high temperatures. And I live in Texas, and the temperatures can get well over 100 degrees plus. So, and it's a high probability I will probably be sitting in this truck in 100-degree, you know, plus temperatures in traffic at some point. So just because of that reason, because in the summers here are extreme, I am going to go ahead and use this. They did provide the hardware to, you know, put that on. All right, block off plate. The heat block off plate is installed. That's what it looks like inside there. And also I installed this kind of, it's like a gasket, a rubber gasket that fits in where the new intake tube will go. Has a very nice seal. Really tight in there. So next, let's see here. I think we should go ahead and put one of the couplers on that are going to connect to the turbo. They provide you with the clamps and of course this very nice coupler. It's very high quality. I want to show this to you guys real quick if any of you are actually installing this intake. This side goes to the turbo, and you can see this rim right here. That is the exact size as one of these. So this will fit on there exactly halfways. and with one clamp. So I'm going to go ahead and clamp just one that will connect to the tube, and then this side will actually connect to the turbo. Alright guys, I am moving right along. As you can see, I got this on here. I found there is a lip on this end of the tube, so I just had to make sure that I didn't move it and make sure it was on the lip all the way around, because it could be way past it on one side and then right on it on this side. So you have to make sure that it's even. Once I made sure that it's even, I slowly tightened this one down, and I finally got it even all the way around. Then I went ahead and put this clamp on. This side is going to go directly to the turbo, and I'm going to keep this one loose. The filter clamp, here's the filter right here. It has its own clamp in there, so that will enable me to kind of move this around, because I went ahead and put this through this rubber gasket that's on the box. This one has a lip right there as well, so you want this to go all the way in. I'm gonna go ahead and slide this on the turbo first. Get this all aligned. Again, I did keep that coupler loose, that clamp loose on the coupler, on the turbo side. Oh yeah, that goes on real easy. Very good. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there for now until I get the, let's go get the box. This one and this one into our hole grommets down there. I'm actually gonna put in the air box first, since I didn't know that that was gonna go on so easy, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get the air box on first. I think that'll be a lot easier. There we go. I think they went in. Nice. Alright guys, that was a little bit of a struggle, but I finally got it in. Let me give you some tips, what worked for me. First, I tried it as one unit, the tube and the box. You know, just put it all as it was in there. That didn't go so well. So then I tried the tube and then the box. That didn't work so well either. But I put in the box first, and then I put the tube on the turbo. I actually had to loosen the second clamp. I said I was leaving one tight and one loose. And then I just had to finagle and just kind of get the tube into its little gasket right here. There is a ridge on there that it fits, so it's fitting nicely. I had to completely disconnect the filter, and then I just got both hands into this box here and just kind of wiggled it on. All right, everything is tightened down. Now I think it's time to put on the intake air temperature sensor. The kit did come with this gasket and a couple of new screws, just some Phillips head. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on and get our air intake temperature sensor back on. Alright, so the sensor's back in. Tighten down. Now I've seen lots of people, you can take your connector and just connect it right here. On the air box, there's a little holder on the tube that holds the harness. This doesn't have that. So lots of people plug it in on this side, but if you notice, it's very close to the heat shield right here. So I'm not gonna go that route. If I plug it in this way, I think it'll be all right, but it's a little too close to this exhaust manifold. But here's a trick or an idea. Go underneath the tube and bring it around this way. That way it is nowhere near that exhaust manifold, or at least nowhere near as close. All right, so this is the cover I am talking about. Also comes with a rubber seal and the hardware to attach it to the air box. It does have this brown, like adhesive kind of tape on it to protect it, I guess, so it doesn't get scratched. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel this off. I heard that it is easier to pull this off if you heat it up. So if you have like a heat gun or hair dryer or something, it may help you. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and peel that off, get this on, button it up. Let's take a look and a sound, boys. Well, everybody, I have it installed. Here it is. The SMB intake has a kind of a faint logo right there. I have the plexiglass on. Actually, it's called polycarbonate glass. Hi. And it has a rubber seal and sealed by these 4 screws. So there's the top of it.